Hello, Key Biscayne. It is Monday, August 13th, 2018. This is your No One's Listening Show, episode 118. My name's Rafa. I'm your host. I'm here with the excellent panel to my left, and I think he's running for council. His name is Manny Rianda.
Thanks, Rafa. You know what? I'm not running for council, but I am here because, after I listened to last week's show where I wasn't able to be here for work reasons, it was like a suicide watch here on this show. I mean, you guys you're ready to quit the show. Where's the panel? Where is everybody? I mean, I missed 1 week, and it's what happens, Rafa. So it's good to be here, and I'm not running for panel, but I'd like to introduce to my left. You know him as Griff, and that's really all I know him as because I think that's just his name. It's like Cher, like Madonna. It's Griff, and I heard he's running for council too. Griff,
what's up, everybody? It's good to be back. Yeah, last week's show sounded a little depressing, so we try to come now today to do the show to support Rafa and all the effort that he does. So yeah, it's good to be back.
To his left is Alvaro.
Hi, everybody. Long-time listener. First time
on the
panel
show.
member.
Alvaro Silva.
Running for council.
Alvaro's also running for council. So we have 3 of the seats taken right here, literally and figuratively. And with Alvaro here in the studio, I think we're down to 1 listener out there, Lenny. And Lenny,
Hey,
Lenny, you're supposed to be here too. We have a chair for you, but if not, at least we hope you're listening.
oh, that's great.
Well, I do want to make a small announcement talking about that and the no listeners and what happened last week or whatever. This guy, Jose Salavari, sent us a message that said this show is the last connection he has to the Key. He lives in China now. And he says, don't stop doing the show because he loves to hear it. He hears it every week.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
That's awesome.
This one's for you, Jose.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Jose?
I don't.
Yeah, I know Jose.
I know his brother by ways of my brother, but I don't know him. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Hey,
I still want Manny to take over the show, but maybe it won't happen today or tomorrow.
And one shout to Jose. Ni hao, mother.
All right, let's get into what we always get into. It's weekend talk, and I have a pretty good story. On Friday, you guys know my buddy Sartaj? I know if some of you know him.
Yeah.
Manny, you've met him.
Yeah.
Big guy. He's a Sikh. Okay, so he doesn't like that I call him that when people call him Indian because he's like American, but he's like of Indian descent. So he's a big guy. I don't think he was wearing his turban that night, but whatever. He wears a turban all the time because it's like part of their thing, right? Anyway, we're at Club Deuce on the beach, Miami Beach. It's a little dive there on 14th. It's like 2 in.the.morning. And there's a couple of us there. We're sitting at the bar. Sartaj is like on the other side of the room. He's pretty hammered. And it's like 2 in.the.morning, and this rowdy guy comes into the bar and starts arguing with the bartender. And the bartender's like, get the hell out of here. I'm not going to serve you. And the guy's all pissed, and he's like mad and whatever. And I didn't hear this at the time, but Anna said she heard it, and it was like that the bartender said something like, you stabbed a guy last week. I know you did that. And she was like, get out of here. I'm not going to serve you. So the guy's walking out of the bar, like pissed off. Before he walks out, his girlfriend is like taking too long to follow him out. So he yells at her in this way that you're just like, this guy hits his girlfriend for sure. Like just like you can just tell, you know? And like she's like at it, like haggard. So he walks out of the bar, and as he's walking out of the bar, at some point, Sartaj, like being like this friendly guy, goes up to him and is like, hey, what's up, man? Don't be so down or whatever. And the guy punches Sartaj in the face.
Come on.
I swear to God. Punches him in the face. He must have been wearing a ring or something because he cuts him like right under his eye. And Sartaj starts bleeding. He gets caught off guard.
Did you see this or not?
So there's a window in the bar that you can see to the street. And we had seen Sartaj walk out with this guy, and we're like, wait, we better go talk to Sartaj because he doesn't want anything to do with this guy, you know? And in the time that we got up to like go look at what happened, he had already the whole thing had already happened. Sartaj was like, what's going on? But then he noticed, and he was like, I want to fight this guy. He was like, getting really rowdy, but the other guy was like, I don't know. I guess he knew he got loud with Sartaj, but he was like leaving. I guess he knew that he just assaulted a guy too, you know, out of nowhere. And so that was that, and the rest of the night, Sartaj was super pissed off.
I mean,
bleeding.
what was there an urgent care visit or something?
So I went to the Walgreens that's across the street, and I bought like those butterfly strips and some Neosporin and some Band-Aids.
Oh my god!
And so this is the best part. First, I try to get it on, and his face is all like bloody, and like we can't get it on. It's just like all the stuff just flies off his face. Like then we clean him up, like dry him off, put everything right. Get the little butterfly on him, like close up the wound, kind of, like as good as we're going to get it that night. Everything looks great. He's still pissed off, whatever. 15 minutes later, I look at him, and he took it all off. He took all the bandages off, so now he's probably got a scar on his face waiting to happen.
So what about the guy? The guy's gone?
The guy's gone. Like,
the bartender knows who he is, though.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is. The people out front probably know who he is, too. He's a local, so, I mean, they definitely know who he is. But, I mean, that was that.
That sounds like South Beach in the 80s.
If he would have stayed, I'm sure the doorman would have called the cops, so the guy left, you know. So that was my Friday. Then on Saturday, did this wine tasting thing, which maybe I'll save for another day, but it was a free wine tasting at Sunset Liquors. Highly recommend it every Saturday. And then yesterday we went on the boat. Maybe you can talk about that, Griff.
Yeah, my weekend was very full of boat-themed things. I took out the boat on Saturday, went to Nixon, had a great time with my cousin in Sartaj. And it was funny because I was like, what happened to your cheek? And he did have a Band-Aid on, so he was doing something. And he told me the whole story. And then yesterday we took out the boat again, and we went to Nixon Beach, but we also went to the Crandon Park Flat, which is really nice. And we just hung out, and it was great.
It was crazy.
I love Griff taking his boat out. He's not burning any fuel. He's just going...
Oh, I'm definitely burning fuel.
Huh?
I'm definitely burning fuel.
Are you? You're not paddling out there?
No,
Griff likes to go fast. That's what I found out. Griff likes
I like to go fast. And it was fun. And I I followed yesterday Hochi through a little trail around the Cape, around the lighthouse. That was really cool.
Oh, all the way tight?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Good cut there.
And that was my weekend. It was pretty good. What about you, Alvaro? How was your weekend?
Well, this weekend I happened to find myself in Seattle, Washington, with my family. And on Friday, we had just finished a road trip, and we ended in Seattle. And on Friday, Pearl Jam was playing in the Safeco Field. They were calling them the homecoming shows. So I thought it was perfect, so I got big tickets to go see them.
Wow.
And so on Friday I saw Pearl Jam in Seattle, which was pretty amazing, but it's also the experience of watching people watching Pearl Jam, and just like a lot of people watching. It's a baseball field. It was packed to the gills, I guess you say, and I had gotten really bad tickets. We had obstructed view tickets on the side. We couldn't even see into the stage. You could maybe see Eddie Vedder. So we decided to go to the upper deck and try our luck up there, and it was such a hassle to move around. It was super packed. And I had an 8-year-old kid with me that had never been to a show before. He'd been to plenty of baseball games, but never to a rock show.
You found that kid panhandling outside, or
no? He came with me from Miami. He lives in my house.
Oh, okay.
And so we found the last row of the upper deck, and we stayed there until the show started, when people actually came to their seats and they kicked us out. So we watched the show from the mezzanine, and it was an amazing show.
That's
lasted
awesome.
they played like 30 songs, like 2 encores with like 10 songs each, or I'm exaggerating, but it was like 30 songs.
Could you imagine that was his first show?
Yes.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you had
nice.
3 of your kids there, right?
I took 2 of them to the show. My daughter stayed babysitting the little baby, which was very nice of her.
Cool. You paid her, right?
And I will pay her at some point.
One day.
I paid her a tuition for the next year.
Oh, well, congratulations on that, Alvaro. Yeah. The whole semester or the whole year?
No, just the first week. We'll see how it goes.
All right. That's smart. That's amazing. And Alvaro, I saw your pictures. You posted on Instagram at Safeco Field, and I could almost see the stage from your picture. You were. I was like, "Are you inside the stadium?"
Those
there?
were the good seats. Those were the seats we moved to.
Because Alvaro and we've been to some shows together, and normally, like from his picture, you could see where we sit. Where we stand all the way down in the pit. The pit looked packed.
Yeah, it was packed, and it was packed. The funny thing is how these people were just like crazy to see this show. Like there was so much energy. And a lot of the energy was directed at the merchandise booths. There were like 6 merchandise booths all over the stadium, and the lines never stopped being like 50 or 60 people long at each one of them.
Wow.
And then they had this huge merchandise tent outside the stadium where we actually went and got a shirt at the end. And it was just amazing how people, they weren't even watching the show. They were online to get the shirt that said they were at the show, you know?
The merch concession probably
merch,
equals
like ravenous.
equals ticket sales probably.
Yeah.
For one
Funny.
show.
You can get that online
Well,
after the show.
welcome home, Alvaro. It's good to see
Thank you.
you.
It's
Man.
good to be back in.
You're looking
Miami.
really grungy.
Oh, yes.
In comparison to Manny, for the listeners, he's cleanly shaven.
Yeah, he's
looks like he just
clean.
came out of the ocean, fresh and clean, Manny.
Yeah. I don't have a boat, Griff, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn last night. So, so my weekend was had a nice weekend. On Saturday, we planned to 4Ocean. You know, you may be familiar with this organization, 4Ocean. They do the bracelets, and you buy a bracelet, picks up a pound of trash, and they're a big group out of Boca Raton. Them and Miami Waterkeeper put on a cleanup at the Marine Stadium, which iconic location. And so we organized a group we decided, people are always asking me, hey, Manny, when are you going for a paddle again? Hey, Manny, when are you doing a cleanup again? I was like, you know what? Let's do both of them together. So we organized a few boats. We loaded them with paddle boards and people, and we decided we were going to motor over to the Marine Stadium and show up at this cleanup from the water. It was a land-based cleanup, actually. And so we did. But we didn't.
Storming that day.
Well, at 4 o'clock, all of a sudden on Saturday it was dumping on Saturday. I don't know, where were you at 4 o'clock on Saturday, Griff? Were you on your boat somewhere?
That time I was hiding in the Grove. I had to cross the bay.
No, that's Saturday.
Oh, Saturday? I was actually on the Gypsy.
Gypsy hiding.
And it came down dumping, right?
It was really bad.
But we kept watching the radar, and we were supposed to meet at the club at 5. That got pushed to 5:45. By that time, it had cleared up. And we went up there to the Marine Stadium. We had a great time. We pulled out tons of trash from the mangroves, including the kids. They were on paddleboards. Found a mast, like a jib mast, with a sail attached to it, fouled up in the mangroves. So we tied a rope to it, and with the boat, we pulled it out, and it was like a 500-pound piece of trash. So the people that, we finally got it out, and we got all the way back up to where at 4Ocean at the end they do a big picture of all the trash that we're going to put it on Rat Radio. I have to get this picture, but it's basically everyone that did the cleanup standing there with all the trash in front of them, and they do a big group picture, right? So they're about to do the group picture, and I'm literally coming up, pulling that mast, and people saw me struggling, dragging it out of the water. And they came and helped me, and we pulled that mast. I'm like, wait, hold on, wait for the picture. And we came, and we arrived with that mast, 500 pounds of trash, like equal to what they already had there. And everyone gave us a big round of applause, and we dumped it there in front and took a picture. And the kids loved it. And our goal, as you know, as weirdos who pick up trash, is to really make it so. And I think my 10-year-old niece said it best the other day. She said, Dio, I feel really guilty. I'm like, what do you feel guilty about? She's like, I can't walk past trash anymore. I can't just walk past it. I said, listen, her name is Oceana, actually. Oceana. I go, Osi, you didn't put that trash there. And you don't have to feel guilty, but that's exactly what we want you to feel, that you can't walk past trash anymore.
Feel
and
guilty.
That's what happens. You can't walk past trash. You can't walk past trash anymore. So that was a great day. That
sounds
Saturday.
awesome.
Very cool, man.
Griff, we're going to get you. Actually, I think we invited you to come in to be part of that.
You did, but who does a pickup from 6 to 8 p.m.? How do you see trash in the darkness?
What time does it get dark here?
8, but still,
Hey,
I don't know.
He's got a boat, okay?
Honestly, by 6 o'clock, I was a few beers deep, and I went home and had Domino's and went to sleep by 8 o'clock.
All right, so you let me know what time we plan the next one, Griff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did it. So I imagine you're going to be doing more stuff like that in the future.
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of that stuff here. We're just going to start. We're going to really get it going now. I've got some great things to share with you. Not for tonight's show because I know we have a packed agenda, but certainly for future shows.
Not really. Was that guy who's always in the news with you guys?
Which one?
It's like the guy that you should be, but you're not. But I don't know why he gets all the credit.
Oh, Andrew, the guy who picks up in the mangroves. Yeah, he wasn't with us, but he can. That's fine. No one's like looking for all the credit. In fact, the Islander did a great spread last week. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
2-page spread on Key Biscayers who are trying to make a difference. And I know you didn't talk about it on the show.
I was waiting for you.
All right, but
I was waiting.
But
for
they
you.
did talk about Andrew. They talked about Mia Davey. They talked about Fort Ocean, and then they talked about Philibag.
Nice. Okay, that's your weekend. Oh man, you know what I forgot to bring? The melodica. So I can't do the music, but maybe it's for the best. After Weekend Talk, we do What Are You Listening To? I'm wondering if you guys have anything you're listening to. This is almost a relic of the old show when we had a radio station.
Yeah, I guess I was in the depths of YouTube the other day, and I found myself watching more than once Barracuda by Heart.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I found myself watching the lead singer, like in the 70s, do her shows, and it was pretty cool.
Pat Benatar?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her name. But it was great because she had so much, I don't know, she did it with like so much passion. It was really good. That's what I listened to this week.
Nice.
Well, yesterday I was lounging by the pool, and I had a playlist on, and this song came up, and it really sort of grabbed me. And it's a song by the group Ween, and the song is called "Your Party," and it's on the album Cucaracha.
Ween.
So I listened to it like 3 times since then.
So I think Ween is coming soon. Sometime in the fall they're going to be around, so check that out. Really interesting band.
Excellent. I was listening to. I've been listening to the Grateful Dead mostly.
Really?
A show from Vendetta.
Oh yeah, Oregon.
Vendetta, Oregon.
Yes.
August
72.
27, 1972. So up and down that show.
It's on YouTube too, also.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. You find it on Dick's Picks on Spotify.
Dick pics?
Gotcha. No, Dick's Picks, not Dick Pics. The other day I was at someone's house and they're like, "Hey Manny, what's that place? Where do you? What's that?
Yeah.
What's that playlist? Hey Alexa, show me Dick Pics." The guy said in his house. I was like, "No, man, come on, Dick's Pics."
Luckily, that thing doesn't have a screen. Not yet, anyway. Okay. I found this album. It's called Ethiopique Volume 4. There's like 30 volumes. It's of Ethiopian music from like the 60s and 70s. And this Volume 4 is basically all by one artist. There's 2 songs by different artists, but the one artist is called Mulatu Astatake. And he invented a genre that they call Ethio jazz, which is almost like where you would think of like an African-inspired sound.
Does it sound like Fela Kuti or no?
Huh?
Does it sound like Fela Kuti or no?
Okay, so it's funny that you ask. It's not exactly the same. It's actually it seems like a little darker, a little more. It's a little moodier, but it's really cool. Really good thing to just put on and let ride. So the album's called Ethiopique Volume 4. Check that out. No way you can't like it. Maybe if you put it on in your car, it'll be a little different. But if you just put it on in your house, it's just nice, chill vibes. All right, so that's what you're listening to. Oh, I got a question here from somebody asking, how do I tune in? Well, if you're already listening, you know how to tune in. But I will let that person know how to tune in as soon as somebody else is talking.
Maybe they're not listening. Maybe they are. They just know that it's Monday at 6:40 and it's showtime.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're asking me because of that, and I'll tell them in a second. It's Monday, August 13th, 2018. It's about 6:50 p.m. on this wonderful August day, It's kind of still really hot out, but not as much as it has been, I suppose. July, I think, was more hot than it's been in August, which is strange. As you know, it's listening to show episode 118. Make sure you subscribe and all that kind of jazz. And make sure you know how to listen to the show, like this kook who's asking me right now. After Weekend Talk, we do the news.
So how do you listen to the show?
So you listen to the show by going, well, if you're listening, you know how to listen. But if you don't know how to listen, I guess you go to Facebook. You can listen there.
Go to Facebook. You'll find...
/ Rat Radio, all one word.
Right.
You can go to ratradio.net and hear the podcasts after they've come on. You can subscribe on iTunes. I know a lot of people have started doing that, which is nice. So they listen to it the next day or whatever when it pops up in their...
Is that the YouTube announcement?
It's an iTunes, like in your...
Okay.
Like
and
your,
YouTube
your
also,
phone.
you can...
Yeah, on YouTube, you can also subscribe if you like it to do it there. I mean, we couldn't have made it easier.
Right.
So check that out.
Well, good news. I see we have 2 listeners on Facebook Live. I'm one of them. And Alexa Holloway's out there.
All right. Hey, Alexa.
What's going on, Alexa?
Hello, Alexa.
Alexa, wait, hang on. We're going to need some audience input here. So if you, Theo, and Savvy are around, we're going to need your help.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be good. Theo's going to like this talk. Alexa, probably not so much. Okay, so first thing, talk of the town. So today's the first day that you can register to run for council. You got steep competition with the 3 guys here who have already registered. I'm surprised at all of you guys, but... I think it's great that you guys are pursuing that civic duty.
Well, you know what? I just huddled up with these guys. We're going to go. The 3 of us are going for one position. That means the 3 of us are going to represent one council person. So if we win, we're going to do it as a joint effort. Like, we're going to split the time to go to meetings. We're going to split the responsibilities. I think that's a good idea.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll just split the responsibilities. Like, hey, Griff, you got to go stand on the corner today with the sign, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say something similar.
Anyway, so today's the first day. You could have done it by noon, starting at noon. And I know there's been some people who have told me that they're doing it, but I don't want to announce anything until I see like the official announcements and I can verify it, right?
I saw an official announcement today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Whose official announcement did you see?
Can I say it or not?
Sure, say it.
Tony Winton announced it on Facebook.
Do you know anything about him?
I know that
briefly met him.
I know that he's I know that he's like an AV guy. Like he filmed the rib off or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know much else about him, and I know that there's another gentleman from your building who asked us he wants to come on the show. We can't wait to have him.
Ignacio Segurola.
Yeah.
And he ran before, and he is also in the condo board, the condo crew. I don't know how to call them officially, but the guys who represent
the condo board association.
Yeah, the Association of Condo Associations.
Mm-hmm.
He's on that board.
He's interested in coming on the show.
Yes, and so what I wanted to talk to you guys about is basically this. I would love to have all these guys on the show, like anybody who's running, have them closer to the election so that it's like fresh in people's minds who these people are. If we do it now, it's August. Nobody's even on the key,
I think that one thing that might be a good idea is for us to get an idea as far as the timeline goes. When are the debates or the presentations of their platform, so that we have them on the show before that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we should find out when those debates are, because then we could plan out our show a little bit better.
Okay, so what I want to know is like what kind of things we would ask these guys. So one of the things that you told me the other day, and I'm not sure if it's true or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like,
what, you think I'm lying to you?
No, you heard a rumor here or there that Judd Kurlanchik wanted to run.
I thought we weren't going to speculate on rumors.
I only want to speculate. It doesn't matter if the reason I ask is because I can think of a question for him that would be like real ball busting. And I wonder if it's how you guys feel about, like, how far do we dig into people? You know what I mean?
Because we're all neighbors out here.
Exactly.
And we're all friends. And, you just look at the running for mayor. I mean, there's 2 guys that are running that have a lot of common friends. And so is it going to be like a politics... dirty politics and mudslinging and all that. No, that's not going to happen. So where do we come as constituents to the community in terms of asking questions? How, are you suggesting that it might get ugly with the questions, or we might put people in a corner?
We might put people in a corner.
I think that we want to put people in a corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Do we let them know that we might put them in a corner? I'm not a journalist. I don't know how this stuff works, So do you let them know beforehand that, like, hey, I might grill you pretty hard on this show. I have some things that I can think of for two of these people who it might put them in like a spot to defend themselves, like in a way that if you have no pass on the key, then maybe you don't. That it would be easier to.
Well, I think that if you're transparent with them up front,
Yeah, I think you got to tell them up front.
tell them up front and say, hey, I don't want to put you in a corner,
Yeah.
but we have some questions that we'd like to address. How do you feel about that, about answering them?
I think if you want to hear real good answers, you might tell him beforehand, hey, I want to talk about this. Like in general terms, not specifically what the question might be, but you say, hey, I want to talk about your checkered past.
Okay, so can you guys think of questions? So the other thing is, I'm going to ask this, in private of you guys, but I would like to hear from the audience and from you guys, like, what do we ask them exactly? Like, even the ones that aren't, like, just the general questions. I mean, like, do we ask them, like, did you vote for the dog park, or would you have voted for it? Like, do we ask them... One thing that I'm curious about is, like, asking all of them, how would you vote if the Silver Sands wanted to develop a condo hotel? Okay? So I know there's people on the council who thought it was, like, wrong to deny them the last time they tried to do it, Or people who were running who probably thought it was not the best idea to deny them. If you guys don't know, the Silver Sands got hauled into only hotel zoning, and they were the last ones to not the last ones. I guess any of those properties could be redeveloped, but it's unlikely any of those buildings comes down anytime soon, right? Except for the Sands. And they basically changed their zoning right at the end there so that they can't make apartments. So they tried to fight it for a minute, but then they weren't going to build anything anyway, so they stopped fighting it. But at some point, that's going to come back, and they're going to be like, you guys are picking on us.
Rafa, I think you're onto something here.
And so those little things, we got to come up with those questions, because I can think of some of these candidates who are going to say, yes, I think it's unfair that the Sands got picked on, and just in the sake of fairness and free marketness, we should let them build what they were allowed to build when they bought the property, which, I don't like it because, adding more density and adding whatever, but it's a fair argument to make. Would I vote for that guy? Probably not.
One of the criticisms of the councils, of past councils, is their inability to make decisions and to move forward and to resolve. Even though I don't always agree with that, because I think that I think a lot of great things have happened. But how's that for a political position here? Should run for council.
That was good.
Should be a politician. So, what if you went back, Rafa? I know it's going to take a little bit of work, and I know you didn't get a job this week, did you?
You guys got to think about these things and just send them to me, because I'll just forget certain questions. And as they come up, you guys got to send them out there. And I'm telling the audience this too. Like, if there's anything you want us to ask these guys about, you got to let us know.
Cool. Well, listen, when you listen back to the show at 28, 24, 25, 26, make a note that I'm asking you this question, or I'm giving you this suggestion. Let's look back at the history of the voting record in the council, or hot button items and issues that have been presented to the council, and where decisions have not been made or results have not been fulfilled. And let's create a list of those. That's right there. You can go through. Let's take a trip down memory lane, right? And you are now on the council, and this is coming back up. How would you vote for it now? How would you have voted for it then? Has your position changed? Things in that scope.
Okay. Things like crossing the street, that kind of stuff is still an issue right now. That's something that I think we should devise some questions about. Like, what would you do about this situation? Remember when they wanted to make the park here in the Garden District?
Right.
I was
Yeah,
so
202
I was
Sunrise?
so gung ho on it, and then somebody told me something that it was actually what's his name, Brett
Moss.
Brett Moss. Yeah, he told me something that made me think, and it's like if you would have put a park here, you would have knocked out a bunch of the lower priced units on this island, like to make your park. So you're killing density in a place where you have a specific subset of the key that you are losing out on with your units, And I thought about that, and I was like, man, that's so true. Like I hadn't given it that kind of thought. If you're going to lose density, it shouldn't be it's probably the least amount of affordable units.
But Rafa, I mean, all due respect to that position, they were talking about raising it and creating it, $2 million apartments. So,
I mean, if it was one or the other, yeah, I suppose there is something to say about that. But none of it has happened yet, right? Is any of that on track to happen? I'm not sure.
Haven't read anything.
I mean, the entry block has to come back into
the
the
entry
picture.
block is going to be something big. I mean, we got to come up with these questions. Now I'm kind of rambling, but this is the kind of stuff that you guys got to do homework for. I'm tired of doing homework.
That's true.
Okay.
I think that's a fair question. The Silver Sands question is.
That was awesome.
The Silver Sands question is going to
It's
be
a completely fair question.
Yeah.
And for me, it affects me personally because I live right behind the Silver Sands, and I don't really see, the value of the place as is, but I also don't want another ocean club back there.
Well, they're allowed to make a hotel, like any hotel they want.
Right.
It's just not apartments.
Like how many stories?
Whatever they could probably make it as tall as the Oceania. There's no limit there. It just has to be a hotel. It can't be more people living on the key, More people going to the school. It can't be that.
What about making a access to Key Colony through the Sonesta Drive? Alvaro, what do you think of that?
I think that's a terrible idea.
Horrible idea.
What if it's only for like only for residents, so no guests.
So any one of the 50,000 residents at the Key Colony can go down that road?
Yeah.
Well, the problem
better, right?
I have with it is the speeding coming out of there.
Oh yeah.
The race. And it's not an access to Crandon, it's an access to other side streets that have their own little issues.
By the way, the speeding that you have is because of the people that live in Oceania.
Yeah,
because they all have McLarens and
random
Ferraris.
people that go through that. I mean, people here seem to speed anywhere, no? Like in any little street.
On that street more, because I hear it from my balcony. I hear the cars.
Oh, okay.
I hear it a lot more. And
Yes.
people do speed, and they come out with their McLaren and the whole ass.
If you are in Key Biscayne and you're in a hurry, or you're already late to wherever you're going, that's off the key.
It's so true.
You don't have to speed to get. I mean, you're already like 15 minutes late at least. So no to speeding.
Okay, let's not. Yeah, we'll get back to that at some point.
That's my counsel.
All right, so you're not too late. You got until the 23rd at noon to run for council, to put your name into the ballot, and we'll talk about you next week or the week after, and probably all the way through the election. Also, early voting is already started, so if you want to vote for the primaries, Democrat and Republican primaries, whoever's going to succeed Eliana Ros-Letnan as the representative in the U.S. Congress, you can vote for that already. And I don't think there's much else that the key is voting for. Oh, yeah. Primaries also for governor, all that stuff is happening now. So get out there, vote, whatever. Do that stuff. Next order of business. The Rotary Club honored good friends of the show, Steve Tellum and Eric Labrador. Steve Tellum runs a Lunches for Veterans program, and he's been doing it for, I think, a couple of years now, where he brings veterans to the Key Biscayne Yacht Club and treats them to lunch. And it's been a really successful program from the views of all the veterans that he's helped. And Eric Labrador runs a bunch of things. One is called United We All Can, where they tackle homelessness, addiction, a bunch of little programs. They go to other countries and they try and build churches and schools and stuff like that. I mean, he's all over the place, and they were just honored by the Rotary Club for all their contributions to that kind of stuff. So I'd like to give them a little shout out here too, because they are cool guys.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah, I mean, Eric is there's an article, good article in the Islander this week. Eric's a guy who can walk the walk and talk the talk. He came from a tough background, and a lot of the guys that he grew up with are either not here or are locked up or in major challenges. So he is an incredible person, absolutely an asset to this community and or any community that he'd be in. It's a beautiful family. So congratulations, Eric, on a well-deserved recognition.
Yep. And hopefully next year they recognize Manny over here. God damn, nobody gives him any credit.
Right? Some guy takes a spotlight picking up trash. Oh, man.
Listen, I think. By
the way, the
Rafa,
stare down that I'm getting right now.
Thanks for giving me that credit, man. I appreciate that, buddy. But I'm definitely preferring the under the radar route.
Of course, always better.
Yeah. That's why I took the roof off my golf cart.
Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about this. Just real quick. This is kind of a rant on my part. They were talking about in the budget meetings, the preliminary budget meetings, that Public Works wants a kind of app.
Oh, the app. I read about that today.
Which would be, if you know what 311 is for Miami-Dade, where you can just call 311 and report anything that's wrong in the county, basically. Well, the key was thinking, hey, we want an app where if a citizen or resident is walking around the key and they see something, they can just take a picture and send it through the app, and it automatically sends it to the village, and they get this, whatever. They get some kind of thing, and then they can tackle it, right? Which on the surface sounds great, right? But I was just thinking, because I work in this kind of stuff, and I was thinking, what's this going to cost? So the village, how much does an app cost, okay? A decent app is going to cost you, if it's only iPhone, and it does all this, it's probably going to cost you and this is for private business, is going to cost you $30 grand.
But wait, you develop an app? You have to develop it, right? It doesn't exist already.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a call here. Hello, caller.
Hey,
It's Theo, friend of the show.
I have some thoughts on the app.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I was about to get onto that. Can you give me a second? Let me rant a little bit, and then you can tell your own thoughts.
Oh, wait, am I not live? I thought I was listening to it live.
Well, we're always 5 seconds ahead because the internet's slow. So let me talk about it a second. Stay on hold here, and you can hear me say it while let me say what I was going to say. So anyway, an app.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so an app is going to cost a privately funded app is going to cost. Privately funded. If you make it for your business or whatever, and you want it to do what these people are saying, just for iPhone, it's going to cost you $30 grand. Okay. If you want to do Android too at the same time, if you do them at the same time, you add another 10 grand. Okay. You can make it really cheap and bad, and you can maybe get it for 10 grand, but just the whole thing, but it's going to be crap. If you want it to be half decent, it's going to cost you 30, 40 grand to support both phones. And then you're going to have this problem like you do with the freebie, that there's a whole subset of Key Biscayers who can't even use an app. They only want a phone call, So we had to make freebie available on phones by phone call. And so this whole subset of people would also be left out from the app. So maybe you have to come up with another way for those people. Okay. Then you have the problem of you're walking down the street. Are you really going to, for this one thing that you see, are you really going to go into the App Store and download this thing and put it on your phone? I think the barrier to download, people don't like downloading apps unless it's absolutely necessary, I think. Maybe kids do, but it's kind of I just want to take a picture and send it. My suggestion would be to have just a way that citizens or residents can WhatsApp or text message these things to some kind of phone number or something. Much easier. Spend your budget on advertising this service. When people ask, hey, how can I tell the village about something? It's as easy as saying, send it to this phone number. And that's it, And just do a marketing push on that. You get what I mean? Now, let's see what Theo has to say. Theo, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have some pretty strong thoughts on this because about 6 years ago, I went to a Code Miami meeting, and they had a guy from the county named Michael Sarasti there presenting on Open 311. And, the time, they were working on building out some of the maps and some of the functionality, but the idea is that it's open source. Now, the county has 311 because the city of Miami used to own it, and the county bought it. But in exchange, the county has offered to supply the call center to the city of Miami. So as part of the 311 app and the whole experience, apparently the city of Miami has essentially an API to allow for the county to service that. Now, Crandon, Bill Baggs, that all falls under 311 because people technically can call in and report an issue, and they don't know a lot of times where exactly is Key Biscayne and whatnot. So there's actually a back-end system to not only address the issues, but also to create tickets. So when Judd was in as the Director of Public Works and Zoning, I met with him and our IT director, and I brought Michael in to educate them on what this service meant. What does it mean to have a open source platform where it can do just like you described? You can have it text to whomever. You can have it as integrated into the 311 app.
Okay.
And it's really disappointing because it actually didn't go anywhere. And it took me a lot of effort to just educate people about what is open source. I couldn't believe that, I guess not me, but people couldn't believe that there was something that was free. You just had to pay to maintain it. That to them, the logic of, I guess in government, they're used to getting pitched all these services and people constantly trying to find ways to make money. And I was saying, hey, look, this is a service that has already been built out. They just want to have more places to have it integrate so that way they can eventually go out and, basically be the primary providers. But it's open source. The city of Miami is currently using it through an API. The county is using it, and we would have been next on the list. So, I love the fact you guys are talking about it.
Wait. So the idea is that we would just use the 311 app and it would service the key.
Well, it's not just the app; it's everything.
Or whatever, the phone number, which is even better.
Phone number, the whole system is open source.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's like something to tell the council, I suppose. I just don't want them making an app specifically for this because I think that nobody's going to use it. I mean, 3 people are going to use it.
There's tons of money going into that, and educating people that it even exists is hard enough as it is. But trying to teach somebody that, coming onto the key on a Sunday, that they're calling about an issue on Crandon, they don't want to get strung around trying to figure out who's the right person. They can go onto 311 and then have it rerouted and have a ticket created based on wherever they're located.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for the input. I appreciate it. I don't know if I even think that's overkill, but I guess it's probably better than not. But I'll get into it here.
Well, we used to have a ticketing system that we paid a lot of money for, and this was going back 6 years. And the first step was to get rid of the ticketing system. So when I met with the manager, he said, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't see value in it, so I eliminated it," which was great because it's not like we had to eliminate a vendor.
Okay.
They've been using Excel to track any. Actually, I don't even know if it's really Excel. I think Mariana is just doing it, but to create work order tickets. I mean, it's something so simple that you would think like, hey, how are we going to? Let's see if we're going back to the same place every year for the same exact issues. Let's document that. But they, for whatever reason, were I think it was a philosophical thing. They were like opposed to technology.
Okay, well, thanks so much for the call, Theo. Really appreciate it, and we'll keep discussing. All right, bye.
Bye.
Well, you heard it there. There was already an initiative to do this.
A big push, it seems like. For me, it kind of makes sense. What Theo was talking about, it's like the platform's already open, it's already there, it's already been paid, and the more people that use it, maintenance gets cheaper. I think that's a much better
And it's
deal.
like you don't need to know which part of the key you're on, basically, to use it. Because if 311 worked here, then if you're Crandon, it's the same thing. But it's not like if we get our own app, it doesn't go for Crandon. It doesn't go for a lot of places, Anyway, I didn't expect anybody to have an opinion on that. So that was nice.
I have an opinion on the WhatsApp chats. We don't need any more of them.
No, I didn't say a chat. I said just a phone number that you can send an image to or whatever.
How many chats are you in, Manny?
I'm in maybe like really that matter, maybe like 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of them has 3 of us, Alvaro and somebody else.
That one matters a lot.
Yeah, that one matters a lot. The other one is the show.
Yeah, this is very important.
And then actually I'm on another one that's pretty good. It's a birthday chat. Somebody's birthday. They had a birthday party 3 years ago, and they put a list together on the birthday chat.
That's
and
awesome.
So we just kind of kept that one going. Yeah, it's a good crew of people that we just can't get rid of it. And then there's the new Fill-A-Bag chat as well, which it's just a timely one.
All right. Let's see what I got written down here. Freebie's still going strong, according to the report. 17,000 rides last year. Still got that freebie loop. Do you guys know about that?
Yeah, I heard about the loop.
They want to get rid of the loop. I think they're going to be allowed to get rid of the loop and just have it as an on-demand also. The reason they have the loop, freebie loop is basically one that you can't call. It just goes around in circles on the key. And it was because of the way the county said that you had to use the money, or the state. I'm not sure which one. But they said it can't be like an on-demand app. It has to be like a bus.
I mean, you say it's successful, I
Yeah.
guess, by the number of rides.
Yeah.
But what about the public perception? Because I mean, when I read the comments, it's like I waited for an hour.
So that's what I have written here is that the app still sucks. The app still sucks. I mean, there's no way to get around it because they cannot queue up people. So unless it's your turn to ride, they can't tell you that you're confirmed. And so if there's 2 people asking for a ride, you basically have to wait for them to finish before they can tell you, yes, we will come pick you up, even if it's going to take 10 minutes for them to come pick you
It
up.
seems like an easy fix, Rafa.
It is an easy fix, and these guys, I'm surprised that they haven't fixed it yet, but I don't know. I guess it's a money thing. And so the app still sucks, but the key is very happy with Freebie. Lots of people using it. It gets people around.
There was talk about a trolley as well. Once upon a time.
The Freebie loop is basically the trolley.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but they want to get rid of it. They think that it's better.
Who's
just
they?
have more on demand.
The council?
Yeah, council would rather just have more on demand vehicles.
So put that down in your question.
Yeah, there's a question.
And your notes for questions for candidates.
There you go. Jot that one down.
The baseball fields at Crandon are officially totally gone. I don't know if you guys have been there. It's just a green grass field now.
No lights.
But yeah, no lights.
Thanks,
no dirt.
Metro Miami.
So that sucks because our softball league will, probably never come back to the key unless some other baseball field comes up, which is a shame. We've been playing softball now. I don't know how many years it's been now. But
Since I invited you guys.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Five years.
Is that all it's been?
And you guys have been playing since the 80s, or about then, right?
Actually, adult softball's been here since way before that.
Okay.
60s, I think. Yeah.
And so it's a shame that would go away only because of a lack of fields, So now we're looking at, we got Gannon trying his best to find a field in Miami to keep the league going, but to me it's not the same, I want it here on the island, and it sucks. If you were going to play, Manny, where would you play? Can you play at the school, or is it just not possible? There's no lights.
No, there's no lights, but that may change. I think there's a lighting initiative for the school, but it's too small.
It's too small for adults.
Yeah. If adults, in my experience, if adults play in a more sort of confined space, they put limits on home runs and that kind of stuff. So if you hit, you get 3 home runs over the fence,
Gotcha.
And after that it's an out.
Yeah.
I look back at the days when we used to play at St. Agnes. Man, St. Agnes was, on Sundays, it was the best. Everyone would come out there on Sunday after being on the boat all day.
That's awesome.
And it was before the building was built, and hitting bombs into the mangroves. Man, it was a lot of fun. So
There's no field there now, right?
there's the soccer field at St. Agnes the frisbee.
Yeah.
You guys play ultimate there.
But
used to play.
But there's no baseball.
No, there's no baseball field.
diamond of any kind, right? Well, that's a shame.
Little League only. Yeah, there's no place to play. Oh, you know where you could play? At Mast. Why don't they do it there?
Yeah, Mass does have a field. That's funny that you say that.
Just do it at Mast. Play on the turf. True hops.
Ask.
Yeah, Gannon.
I'll run that by him.
Gannon doesn't listen to the show. He used to be on it,
Yeah.
but now he's like mowing his lawn and pruning his trees over there.
Exactly.
I know he's not going to hear that because he's not even listening to the rebroadcast.
So that's it for the news. You can snooze too. Now I want to open up the floor to anything you guys want to talk about. One thing I will mention, just in case, has anybody been to Secreto Gourmet?
Yeah, it's always closed.
It's open, but nobody's been, right?
It's
No.
open.
Nah,
You know what the hours are, Griff?
No.
It's a secreto.
I haven't been also to that barbecue place, Smoke. I haven't been
It's all right.
yet.
I've been once, and I was kind of taken aback by the options of steak were pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go, but I'm saving up. So
But I had the ribs, and they were good. Just
Yeah?
in case
Okay.
I don't want to put them down.
Yeah, I haven't been back. So, yeah.
you know what's thriving right now? The Saturday Farmers Market.
Really?
Thriving.
Oh, it's amazing.
I haven't been in a while.
Talk to
Dude,
me. What's going on?
I mean, so there's a number of concessions there. As you know, they have a butcher shop food truck that sells packaged meat, which is, probably like responsible, organic, farm raised, whatever. But what I like about it is the packaging. It's really easy to freeze and open and pull out a couple pieces and reseal. But the produce section, that's like the anchor of the farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
You better show up, and when you show up, you put one person in line, like to pay, and then you go and you start picking all your produce because the queue there is
Really?
it's long, right, Alvaro? You've
It's
seen
long. It's aggressive. You have to be ready to fight.
And is this produce really that good? What are you guys picking up there that you like?
it. I love
I
it.
really like the guacamole at the produce place, which it's also you need patience. Requires
man.
patience.
I meant to bring that guac tonight.
And also, there's a guy that makes like smoked barbecue ribs and
Oh, yeah, that guy-
brisket.
that looks good.
Also requires a lot of patience, but it's just excellent product. And you buy that, you buy some guacamole, you buy some tortillas, you got yourself
Oh man,
a really nice afternoon.
I gotta go.
Buy Griff. I mean, for your boating life, you can buy
Thank you, Manny.
a Tupperware of barbacoa beef. You buy some of the tortillas, the flour tortillas they have there that are
I gotta go.
ridiculous, and some queso fresco, and some pico de gallo that they have as well. A couple tubs of fruit, and man, you're
Set.
set at the jizz.
I have a huge rant, by the way. I went to Oasis the other day.
Ooh.
Man, what the hell is going on?
Me too.
I had a croqueta, and it wasn't a croqueta. It was like a smushy thing. It was horrible. It's really sad,
It is sad.
where the restaurant has gone. In the beginning, Carlos was making huge efforts, made a much better place. But lately, the standards have just been really bad.
And it's a shame because those croquetas are worldwide famous.
Well, they're made, and they're packaged and they're brought over there. They're not even made in house. So they're having problems. They can't even make a croqueta right. Can't even reheat it right.
Well, and those croquetas are part of the reasons why I moved to Key Biscayne.
No, it's a shame because when they took over, everything kind of got better.
It did.
Yeah, everything got
They were
better.
excited.
And then I don't know what you call this, but like that new building was a total boondoggle, man. Like they should have not done that. Should have not bothered. They should have done something that, like, I get you want more room because you want to grow, but it should have figured out some other alternative because it doesn't seem like it was the best idea.
Yeah, it's really sad.
And now you see like cost cutting, like where the sandwiches are just not as good as they were when they started.
I went to a, by the way, another thing I did on this weekend was I went to Tony Gowdy was preaching at the community church. He's like a next generation pastor.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's great.
And so he invited a bunch of people to go, and he was going to be doing his like inaugural sermon. And have you been to that church, community church?
No, I mean, I've been
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah,
I
been, yeah.
went to preschool there.
That's where Eric Labrador
Yeah, I know.
runs a show. There's a full band, rock and roll. I mean, just high energy. And Tony crushed it, man. Tony gave a sermon. I went in there. I went with my son Mati, and because he invited him as well, and some other kids. And it was really good, man. It was like the first time I really listened to a homily. It would be a homily in the Catholic Church, and was able to connect to it. Anyway, I digress. After the sermon, I told the boys, I'm like, hey, you guys want to go get something to eat? And we can go to Oasis and get something to eat. Because I figured, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
After church, you go to Oasis. So I took them to Oasis, 3 boys and myself. I'm like, what do you want? They're like, we just want croquetas, Dad. They go and they order a bunch of croquetas and a couple, drinks, Gatorades each. And I bought a coconut, for the coconut water that they open up. $35. I'm like, we better get better have some lime in there with those croquetas. Man.
Yeah, because these
$35
croquetas like $1 and change now.
The croquetas are?
Yeah, I think they're like $1 and something.
$1.99.
It's crazy.
I mean, how many could it be?
Is it? Yeah.
I'll tell you something, and I said this in the chat. I remember, but when they took it over, they made this I love Cuban sandwiches. Okay, big fan, huge fan. Probably my favorite sandwich of all sandwiches. Not a pan con bistec guy. I'm a Cuban sandwich guy. Okay, and when they took it over, instead of doing the sliced pork like everybody does and like Oasis used to do, they did like a pulled pork, lechon, like pulled pork in the Cuban sandwich.
Oof.
And it was so good. I can't even tell you how good it was. It had like this perfect level of like greasiness, but not too much. Not too much of any of the ingredients. Everything, the balance was perfect. And now you get it. It's just like back to the sliced.
And the
Sliced
milanesa
again.
that they had was great
Yeah,
too.
people would rave about that one. I haven't tried that one in a while. I know the pan con
It's
bistec
gone.
is-
They don't have it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They don't have pastelitos de carne at a Cuban place. They don't even have that. He's like, we ordered it from somewhere else, and
Yeah, it's empanada, boludo.
that's it.
It's a damn shame.
Damn. Why don't we get Carlos back on the show?
Sure,
We
we could always
could.
give him a call.
I mean,
But
poor guy to grill him.
to grill him
Hard
again.
and be like, your place sucks.
I actually did an interview of him. That I did like a year ago, and it's changed
Where's that interview? What
in my head.
I remember
tell us
that.
now.
Well, no, nothing. We were just talking. He was like, "Look, I'm trying to cater to everybody that lives on Key Biscayne. Whether you're Argentinian, Puerto Rican, Guatemalan, whatever. I'm trying to. So I have different empanadas. So like right now, he has an empanada that's lechon with sweet plantain. It's actually really good.
That sounds great.
It's actually really good. But then he takes the pastelitos de carne off. He skips on the sandwiches. The hot food is still good. It's still, really salty.
Food looks good.
The food's good. But I don't know. It's just he's just missing out.
They did start with demolition again on the side thing, and they announced, at least to the paper, that they are going to rebuild the side, and have the ventanita and all that
He
stuff.
lost 70% of his business because of the window. Because of the fire.
That is huge. I mean, imagine. That means that nobody really wanted that big new place. What they wanted was that little window, It's a shame. A damn shame.
The aesthetics of the place are just brutal for me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe in 20 years that'll be character, but right now it's not.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to that. You guys have any other rants for us?
We went to Milanesa yesterday, at 10, and it was pretty good. It's been a while since we had been there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad.
You went there for what?
It was a post-boat dinner.
At 10 o'clock at night you went?
Yeah, 10. We got there actually right 5 minutes before cutoff
You
of the
sit at the
kitchen.
bar, or-
10:25. Yeah.
Cool.
It was good times.
I like that place.
Those things are filling there. In that sense, it's all right, yeah.
All right, man. Well, episode 118 in the books.
Yeah, you guys got nothing else for me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. Stay tuned for next week. Go to ratradio.net, subscribe, Facebook, go there. Say hi to Alvaro. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Come back next
Thanks,
week.
Alvaro.
Maybe we
Sure,
have
I'll
more to
be
talk
here.
about.
Alvaro, when full disclosure, I invited Alvaro to come on the show. He's like, I'm going to leave that to the pros. I go, there's pros?
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about is you taking over the show, Manny, but we'll get into it sometime.
Stay tuned for episode 175.
Rafa's trying to jump ship, guys. Send them love notes on Facebook or something, convincing him to stick
I don't
around.
want to be the host.
You can go back to that guest, rotating host piece.
Yeah, the rotating hosting was fun.
Right, let's rotate right to you.
Yeah.
You'd be a great host.
I'll be the next one.
Honestly, I said it last week. It's like you got it all. You got the charisma. You got the buddies. You got the
I like the idea of
know-how
rotating.
around the island. All you need is the balls to take it over.
All I need is you,
Think
Rafa.
about it. Think about it. I'll still be on the show. I'll still come out here, make my stupid jokes.
All right. Well,
Recognition. and
We're
stuff
gonna
like
need
that.
a new studio though.
Shutting the studio down.
Back
No.
to the gypsy.
We'll be here next week and the week after, and we'll be here forever. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, well, thanks again for
Yeah.
listening.
Thanks everybody.
Everybody say goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.